Name's Jodon James. Live here in Weatherford, Texas. Saw your bus pulling into the parking lot. Felt like there was a reason I needed to come back around and talk with you, and thank God I did. I was diagnosed last year, May of last year, with colon cancer. Went through a pretty rough time. Had colon cancer surgery. Had lots of other problems that they found out that probably wouldn't have found out if I hadn't been diagnosed with this. Went through the chemotherapy, went from 190 to 150 pounds in about 3 months. Had a rough time with it. Throughout the course of the chemotherapy, had people praying for me for all over the world. It's quite literally. My parents would call and tell me they've got so-and-so praying for me, and they would send me an email saying, "We've got so-and-so praying for you now." And it snowballed all around. And Mom told me about an episode at church one night when that lady had come in that had never been to their church before. They were having prayer for me, and the lady was praying with them. She stopped in the middle of the prayer, stood up and said, "God has healed you." She said, "You don't have to worry about your child anymore. He's healed. There's no more cancer." I claim that victory. It's made all the difference in my life. I love to share the story, tell people what God's done. It's been a tough year, tough last couple of years. February 2 years ago, I came home after 21 years of marriage and found divorce papers laying inside my front door. And, my world was turned upside down, and I thought I was losing my kids, and my life was just topsy-turvy and destroyed. And then here comes this cancer scare. And God works in mysterious ways. And, after the divorce, I became reunited with a lady that I probably should have married to begin with years and years ago. And she got me hooked up with these doctors, these new doctors that gave me the treatment, that gave me the information, and helped me get associated with all these other people. And they've had a magnificent outcome, positive outcome on all my scans, my last testing. I've had CAT scans and PET scans and colonoscopies all in the last month. Everything's clear, 100% clean. The oncologist says I should have another 20 or 30 years on top of them to keep on going, that I will be in a lot of testing, being checked all the time, but he didn't see any reason if we don't stay on top of it that everything ought to be good. I told him we didn't need to stay on top of it. God already took care of that.
Yeah. So, you know, when you're going through the divorce thing, and you know, you go through these trials, and as you go through that, and you go through your cancer, and you really get down to the bottom. You sort of hit bottom in a way.
Absolutely.
And but then you start fighting and start trusting God, and God opened the door for you in another situation that's going to be, you're going to be happier than you ever were. And you've got everything, now you've got a word to tell to millions of people, and you need to tell it and tell it and tell it to everybody you see. And when you see anybody, one of the things I know that helped me, I'd be giving gas, we put gas in my car, and I'd turn to somebody and say, "You know what happened to me on July 7th, 1997? And of course they would say no, because they don't know. Right. So that opened the door for me to tell them.
Sure.
And then I'd tell them. And then if you get those little booklets, and give them to them, and to tell them to read it, it's the most powerful book that you can ever go into. But I really appreciate that, man. You too.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Bless you too, man.
And I tell you what, you keep in contact with us at DannysRide.org. Follow us, give us an email. Let me know always what's happening, and when this ride's over, just send it to, I'll give you you can just send it to me.